What's up, folks? It's your boy. This is the first official YouTube video I make from a desk. And you can see this is what the studio I have for now. To start, eventually one day I would love to make this a hobby. But for now, it's just, a hobby. Anywho, I want to talk about the video I'm making today is about the MSM, okay? The Meritorious Service Medal. And how the majority of enlisted Marines, when they retire from the Marine Corps, don't get this. I don't know why. The stigma is apparently that it's not an award. It's not a retirement award, but yet you see officers getting this when they retire, or even PCS. And I'm talking about captains, majors, and lieutenant colonels and above. A lot of times you do see sergeant majors and master gunnery sergeants getting this award, even for PCSing too. And if you're watching this video, you know a Marine that's retired after 20 years, and you've asked yourself, why did that Marine get an MSM? Or what's the deal? Like, they served 20 years. And I'm looking at the SECNAV M1650 TAC point 1. Meritorious Service Medal, tab 9. And then I'm just going to go into a brief. So authorization amended. It started auction on 16 January 1969. Okay? So in the first paragraph, it says, awarded to any member of the armed forces of the United States or any member of the armed forces of a friendly foreign nation who distinguishes himself or herself by outstanding meritorious service. Neither statute nor regulations prohibit this award for MSM from combat zone. Now, it goes into about the combat zone and all this stuff and how it goes, you should be awarding another one. We're not going to go ahead and cover that because this isn't really about combat zones or whatnot. Awarded to any member of the armed forces of the United States or any member of the armed forces of a friendly foreign nation who distinguishes himself or herself by outstanding meritorious achievement or service. Are we getting that? Or service. So we're going to go into the retirement portion, like if they rate this award for retirement. I'm actually looking at tab 2, TAC 97. For an award presented at the time of retirement, add prior to the closing sentence a statement reflecting the service member's total number of years of service. For example, Commander Finney's superior performance of duties culminated in her 20 years of honorable and dedicated military service. This is now I'm looking at TAC 2, TAC 87. On the occasion of retirement, the last sentence of the body of the citation shall form Master Sergeant Barnett's superior performance of duties culminated in his 25 years of honorable and dedicated military service. I just read you the rules on the actual award itself and what goes on. It's pretty simple. I still don't understand why it can't be written for enlisted Marines. So the write-ups and all that stuff, sometimes, and a lot of people, you see some of these awards and they're like, there's a lot of fluff in that. There's a lot of fluff. There's no actual quantifiable data. I use a big word, quantifiable. Why is it that only E9s, usually E9s get this award? You occasionally see captains, like I said, captains, majors, and lieutenant colonels. A lot of times you're going to see a major or an XO or CO retiring, and they're going to get an MSM. I mean, I get it that they're in charge, that they're XO and the CO, but what did they really do that was meritorious during their tenure at that command to rate an MSM? So you're telling me sometimes a captain, but a major and a lieutenant colonel, an XO and a CO, get an MSM for about 3 years of service to a single unit. But an enlisted Marine, after 20 years, does not rate meritorious service. That doesn't rate meritorious service. So let me read this to you one more time. And let me bring it back up again. Remember, you're telling me 20 years, 20 plus years, a Marine does not get a meritorious service medal. Remember this, who distinguishes himself or herself by outstanding meritorious achievement or service. So here's where it's going to get good, y'all. So I'm just going to put it up. This is my award. This is the write-up. The person who, the originator was Major Jeff Wood Aducey, Aviation Supply Officer. I guess we could throw in Lieutenant Johnson in there too, because she was my OIC. You know, I'm assuming she could have fought a little harder, but hey, retirement. So, damn. So, here we go. And then now, we're going to go into my citation. I'm actually going to read you my citation. You know what? I'm not going to read the citation because I'm not going to read all that. But I am going to put it up. I'll probably pull it up right here. I'll do a graphic. Put it up here. Cool, thanks. I'll put the summary of action as well. I'll put it up here as well, so you guys can take a look at it, freeze the video, read it. Look, I can't read. I can barely read. I can barely talk, as you can tell. So the question is why? Why can't we give this award to enlisted Marines? Why can't we award? Now I'm not gonna say give. Can't we award it? What's the problem? Why is it that so many officers get this award and not enough enlisted Marines? I don't get it. What's funny is, for enlisted Marines in my community, which is 6672, from private to master gunnery sergeant, you are a 6672. For the officers, it's I'm looking at my notes here. It's actually 6604 for unrestricted officers, which I believe is what Major Adusi is. And for one officers and chief one officers, it is 6601. And a lot of time, especially at least in my community, and I've seen it in other communities, we're just aviation supply. You know, and they want to act like we're this, but they want to give the Marines their due diligence after 20 years. I know I said I was going to put it up there as well, but here's one thing that it reads, and I want you to remember some of the things I said earlier about how in culminating in their 25 plus years of service and her 20 years of service, those last two sentences, go back and check it out. Devoted to accomplishing broad and diverse assignments in combat and in peace, and highlights the culmination of 20 years of honorable and dedicated service. Gunnery Sergeant Del Real Hernandez's initiative, perseverance, and total dedication to duty reflected credit upon him and were in keeping with the highest traditions of the Marine Corps. So, remember that last sentence I told you about? Those Marines were awarded were awarded the MSM. It's right there in the order. You can give it as a retirement. Just make sure that the last couple sentences reflect the unit and culminating in the Marine's career. Again, here in culminating of 20 years of honorable service, and you're an officer, you need to ask yourself. Some of your enlisted Marines, they're retiring, right? They're retiring after 20 plus years. What have they done? After 20 years, 20 years, you've done a lot. You're retiring. You got to ask yourself as an officer, like, how many of my enlisted personnel have not retired? Get out. Probably don't finish a 20-year tour. Don't retire. Don't actually retire. Like after 20 plus years. You know, what value have they been to me? How valuable have they been to the other Marines? What other commands have they been to that they've actually done something? You know, ask yourself these questions and make sure that you're giving the Marines what they deserve. Not just a NAM, because in my case, I got a NAM. And I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people are like, you got a NAM? But it's crazy when other Marines get higher awards just for PCSing. Whoever watches this video, share it. And maybe we can get Marines what they deserve. Don't let a Marine retire after 20-something years with just a NAM or with nothing. That's unacceptable. That, I'm not going to say it's going to drive a Marine insane, but it makes them question what they did their entire career. So it makes me question what I did my entire career. Not that I'm for awards or anything, but it is nice to get recognized for your time while you were in. You know, the things that you had to, now I'm not going to say sacrifice, but the things that you had to give up. Friends, family, things you had to put in front of you, you know, standing duty or helping a Marine out or taking care of whatever you got to do. I hope you like this video. If you do, give it a like, give it a share. And if you have any ideas on what other content you want me to put out there, let me know. Put it in the comments. And that's it. Thank you for your time.